Yep, sit back, relax, and get ready to enjoy another awesome video by Capt Frank Lanier. Please subscribe, like, and share with all your friends and all the people you hate too. Hi, I'm Capt Frank Lanier, a retired Coast Guard officer and SAMS Accredited Marine Surveyor with over 40 years of experience in the maritime and diving industry. I've amassed literally thousands of photos of all the bad things I've found on boats during my career as a Marine Surveyor. So what we're going to do today is take a look at some of my favorites. We're going to take a look at each picture. We're going to discuss why they're evil, and we're going to discuss what you need to do to correct them. So hop in, buckle up, keep your arms and legs inside the car at all times as we take a carnival-like ride tour through the cavalcade of owner-induced perversions that I like to call Capt Frank's Sea Chest of Horror. Sea Chest of Horror. You ever heard the phrase, the road to hell is paved with good intentions? Here we've got a situation where an owner is trying to do the right thing, but he doesn't have the knowledge to make sure that it's done correctly. I mean, he's given it the old school try, but it's just not correct. So what we've got here is you have an owner of a power boat, and the box to the left there is the engine compartment. And the owner knows that, you know what, you should have something in place so that if you have a fire in the engine compartment, you don't have to open up the hatch to see what's going on, because if you do so, that can lead to a smoldering fire. It gets a rush of oxygen when you open the hatch and could lead to a conflagration. So he knows he's supposed to do that. He knows that he's supposed to have a fire port, which is the little black circle there, if he doesn't have a fixed extinguisher located in the engine compartment. The fire port is simply a hole that allows you to discharge a fire extinguisher into the engine compartment, to hopefully, extinguish the fire without opening up the hatch and giving it the fire that rush of oxygen. The problem is, well, it's a couple of problems. One, the type of extinguisher he's got installed here is a dry chem extinguisher. It's a dry chem unit. For this to be effective, you have to aim the fire extinguisher at the base of the flame while you discharge it, and that's how you fight the fire. Even though he's installed a little hose from the fire extinguisher nozzle into the engine compartment through the fire port, I guess his theory was it's going to direct the dry chem unit, the dry chem powder, into the engine compartment and somehow put out the flame. Well, it's not going to do that, because you're not able to direct the dry chem into the engine compartment, aim it at the base of the flame. You're just not going to be able to do it. The proper way, or what you want to have to fight an engine compartment fire, is a gaseous clean agent unit. Now, the clean agent unit, when it goes off, either you discharge a portable unit into the fire port, or if you have an automatic extinguisher that is mounted inside the engine compartment, it essentially envelops the engine. It fills the compartment with the gaseous fire extinguishing agent, clean agent, and that's how it puts out the fire. So you do not have to aim it at the base of the flame. You just discharge it in there, and it floods the compartment with the extinguishing agent. The other benefit of this type of extinguisher is that it does not leave any residue, a powdery residue on the engine. This powdery residue from a dry chem unit is extremely corrosive, and if you spray down your engine with it, then it's going to corrode badly. It's going to eat it up. It probably even do more damage than a smoldering or small scale fire. So that's another reason you don't want to use this dry chem stuff. So what he's done, he's mounted his dry chem unit there. He's used a section of hose to connect the nozzle into the engine compartment, and he's just got that set right there so that if he had a fire in the engine compartment, he would just pull the pin and squeeze the trigger, and the extinguishing agent, the dry chem stuff, would just be shooting into the engine compartment. But again, as we've discussed, this is not going to be an efficient or an effective way to fight the fire. For more information on the do's and don'ts of engine compartment fires, please check out my other YouTube video, How to Handle an Engine Compartment Fire. The link to this YouTube video is in the description section below. So here we're looking at the hatch of a mid-sized sailboat. You got a hatch, it's got a nice canvas cover. You got something stuck in there. It looks like maybe a marine grade air conditioner or something. But looking at it closer, we see that it is anything but marine grade or safe. A quick tug of the canvas, and this is what we've got. We got a hatch that's propped open with a piece of wood, and we've got a small residential style air conditioning unit stuck in there, and they've shaped the end of it there with foam, and they've taped it and shaped it with foam and duct tape to present that aerodynamic form that we were looking at earlier. So the problems with this one, of course, is that the air conditioning unit is just resting in there in the hatch. It's not secured in any fashion. Number two, the power cord for this air conditioning unit is that yellow drop cord right there. So the AC power cord for this unit it's hot wired over to the left there, and then it goes down. It's fed into this deck hatch under the canvas there, and then it goes down into the boat. Well, the boat has no permanently installed AC power system on board, so the owner has Frankensteined a system where he just ran a power cord from the dock onto the boat, and then he has from that he's got like a million power strips going all over the boat, which he's using to provide AC power to the various spaces. So of course the recommendation here is to remove this residential style window unit air conditioning, replace it with if you want an in-hatch air conditioning, replace it with a marine grade unit, and certainly have the power system installed properly, particularly the AC power coming onto the boat itself, rather than this abomination that he's got providing power to it now. So here we have an example of things, this is something I see all the time. Somebody's got to run a wire from point A to point B, and they don't quite know how to do it. So they just kind of, run something like this right here. What you're looking at is the hawse hole for an anchor on a sailboat. And what they've done is they had to run some navigation lights, bow lights, up to the bow pulpit. And they just ran the wire, from the inside of the boat through the anchor hawse hole, and then wire tied it up to the running lights. Of course, you can see when you run the wires like this, if you've got a wire run that goes through the hawse hole, it's going to get, be subjected to chafe and damage and stuff from the anchor chain and stuff like that. It's just a very, a rednecky, unprofessional way to do it. Anytime you do a wire run, you got to plan it out and make sure the wire run's properly supported. 18 inches, every 18 inches got a wire support, a tie, and you have to make sure that it's protected. If you take a look at this picture, they ran some control cables and power cables and stuff from a pedestal steering system on a sailboat, and they just ran it down the tube where the chain, you can see the chain for the steering system is located. And of course, understandable and expected result really, if you don't separate and protect them, you can see here where the chain and the gear has just chewed the wire run up. So when you have to run wiring, power, control, whatever, do so in a manner that it is well supported and it's protected against damage. So I find a lot of bad things on boats. There ain't no doubt about it. I look at a lot of boats and I find a lot of bad things. Yeah, but the things that I find that bother me the most are not the things that deal with, standards like, okay, you didn't support this wire run, or you used the wrong type of, grommet, or didn't cover the positive battery terminal, stuff like that. It's bad enough, but the things that really bother me are the things that can, blow you up or kill you. And this would be a prime example of something that can kill you. And I guess the reason it bothers me so bad is because people do things like this and they just don't think anything of it. It's just A-okay. Case in point here, what we're looking at is the forward head compartment for a trawler, a mid-sized trawler. It's got two cabins. It's got an aft cabin. It's got a forward cabin. Both of them have bathrooms. So we're looking at the head here, And the owner has placed a portable generator in here. So the reason that he did this, the logic behind it, as they take, step by step, they think of this, what they think of as a logical process, and it all kind of seems makes sense to them. So the way this generator wound up in the forward head compartment was the boat had a regular generator on it, a properly installed marine grade generator, and it crapped out on them. And marine generators are expensive. It costs a lot of money to fix them when they crap out, or you got to replace them or whatever. But you can go down there to the Home Depot or Harbor Freight or somewhere. You can buy these cheap little gasoline generators for a couple of $100. The allure is very great. Because it's cheap, it's easy. I buy one of these things, stick it in there, and me and Ethel's got power. We don't even have to replace that generator. Well, the problem is when you put this portable gasoline generator on your boat, the big concern, one of them is carbon monoxide poisoning. There's a number of reasons why you shouldn't use these generators on board. It deals with the way they're not properly installed, carbon monoxide poisoning, the dangers associated with trying to fill the gas tank on a portable generator when it's hot, things like that. But let's kind of focus on what we've got here. So he's installed that in the forward head compartment. Me and Ethel, we don't never go in there. We don't use it. So I'm going to just put this generator in here, and I'm going to run the power cord from the generator, out to the boat, and then tie it into the system. We've backfeed into the system, and everything just be all right. Well, so I asked him. I said, "Well, you're running that," and he's running that generator inside the head compartment. I said, "You ever heard of carbon monoxide? People die from that stuff all the time. And he said, "Yeah, I'm aware of that, and that's why I take all my precautions." I said, "Your precautions?" He said, "Yeah. If I run this generator, I'll turn it on, and before I turn it on, before I crank it up, I open up the porthole there above the head. The sink there. There's a porthole there. I open up that porthole, and I am always sure that I shut that bathroom door so we don't get none of that carbon monoxide inside the boat." I said, "Dude, you're killing me, man. And you're trying to kill yourself. That's a gas that'll come through there." And it just kind of astounded him. Actually, he got a little, ticked off when I told him, that's unsafe and you're probably going to kill yourself. I said, "Would you, if you had a garage, had your car in your garage at home, would you shut the garage door and run the car while you was in there?" He said, "Well, no, that'd be crazy." I said, "Well, okay, let's look at it right here. Is it any different?" "Well, no, I don't guess it is." I said, "All right, let me tell you, if one weekend you're going to be using your generator like this to power your air conditioning, the next week your family's going to be fighting over your Dale Earnhardt collectibles and your Elvis records." So I guess the moral of the story is, don't try to take any shortcuts, particularly with safety. If you've got a generator that goes out, replace it or repair it. Don't install one of these portable gasoline generators inside your boat or even outside your boat. Because I get that logic a lot too, right? Yeah, we got this portable generator, but we put it on the flying bridge or on the stern or the bow. We put it on the outside, so the wind can blow it away. I said, "Yeah, but what about, if the wind turns around and shifts or if the wind dies, the carbon monoxide can still find its way into the boat." So the best course of action is just don't do it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, and you want to buy Captain Frank a cup of coffee, please click on the thanks button below this video. All tips received, not spent on coffee, will be used to improve my YouTube channel and create even more awesome videos.